Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the all-new 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander. This is the plug-in hybrid SEL. It's finished off in diamond red with the gloss black roof, putting the MSRP to just over $51,000. Underneath the hood, this is powered by the 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder. It's paired to 2 electric motors along with a 20 kilowatt lithium ion battery. It's also paired to the CVT transmission, and this pumps out 248 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the full-time 4-wheel drive system, or as Mitsubishi calls it, the super all-wheel control. This weighs in right around 4,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds. Top speed is 110 miles an hour. This also has a 12.3 gallon fuel tank. You'll expect to see around 24 miles per gallon in the city, 30 out on the highway. This can also do about 70 miles on just the EV system alone. It has a wheelbase of 106.5 inches. Its overall length is 185.4. It has a width of 84.4, a height of 68.7, and its ground clearance measures in at 7.9 inches. So as we move on to the exterior styling now for this Outlander, you'll notice right off the bat that the entire front end definitely has a distinctive look to it compared to its competitors. Now in the upper section of the grille, this is all solid. Mitsubishi logo right in the middle, there's chrome accents, and then all of these indentions to give it a neat design. Underneath that, there's a grille with openings, so that will provide a lot more cooling to the engine. There's also a sensor for the adaptive cruise, as well as a forward-facing camera. All of the parking sensors are in the body-colored section down below. And then there's also another massive inlet right in the middle to provide additional cooling with the brushed aluminum accent that surrounds that entire piece. Now there's an interesting setup for all of the lights up front. The upper housing is for the DRLs and turn signals. Then there's the chrome piece that has a C-shaped design to it, going all the way to the LED fog lights down below, and then the high beams and the headlights are right in the middle. Now there's also washers for those headlights, so you can use those as needed. I think it gives it a really cool integration, especially with the design of the DRLs and turn signals up top. Very thin housing to those, just to blend in nicely, give it a really cool look. And then there's also 2 lines that come down the middle section of the hood there. And then as we work our way to the side, this has a set of 20-inch wheels with a 2-tone design to them. Being a plug-in hybrid, it also has the regenerative braking, so you can use that to charge this while driving as well. There's the massive plug-in hybrid EV logo just underneath the body-colored side mirrors, where there's a camera and a turn signal. And then up top, full moonroof, along with more brushed accents for the roof racks. And then you'll notice too the gloss black roof. That is an option for this to have that 2-tone design. And then there's some very nice lines that run down the side. There's one just above that logo. It goes right through the door handles. And then there's also a few in the lower section of the door. I think it has a really cool look to it. You will notice too that the trim accent for the lower section of the window goes straight up in the back, where it meets some gloss black accents in the back of the C-pillar here. And then in back, up top, this does have the gloss black spoiler. I'm not sure if it's gloss black if you don't opt for the 2-tone roof or not, but for this model, that's what we have, along with the third brake light. Wiper blade is in the lower section. Now this also has LED taillights. The backup camera is over on the driver's side, so it's not right in the middle where the release handle is. All of the parking sensors are down below. Then there's some more brushed aluminum accents. And this can even tow right around 2,000 pounds. So if you had a smaller trailer, you could hook that up to this if you have the correct package. Now, as we work our way to the cargo space, you can use the button on the key fob, the one underneath, or if you go over to the passenger side, just kick your foot up underneath and that will open it up. So we do have the hands-free option. You can use that to close the liftgate as well. Up top, there's also the standard control, so you can close it or lock it. Now, with this Outlander, this is actually a 3-row SUV. You'll notice that we do have the seatbelts on both sides for the 2 seats in the back, which I will get to here soon. Over on this left side, there's a control to fold that seat down. Over on the passenger side, same deal. So you can fold down the second row, and that gives you a lot more interior space if you need to use it for some larger items. Over on the passenger side, there's also a 3-prong outlet, so you can get power to the back. Now, it's actually a really cool process to flip up this third row. So there's a grab handle right in the middle. So simply flip that up 180. So now you can have it stored like this if you'd like to. There's also plenty of storage down below. And then from there, just grab on strap number 2. And we do have a pretty small set of seats for the third row. As you can tell from the exterior, not quite a large 3-row SUV, but this is a 7-seater. So if you have some kids, we'll jump around in here just to see what it's like in a second. But with the third row up, you actually have a lot of space. So it doesn't take up a lot of your cargo to have that up. And then in order to fold this down, we'll just pull on that middle strap. We'll unlock it with strap number 3. You do need 2 hands in order to unlock that and lift it up. And then you can fold it back down. And now you have plenty of space with that second row up. So it definitely gives you a good bit of space. Very practical if you're in a pinch and you need that back seat space. Now, as we work our way to the interior, this has a beautiful interior. You'll notice we have the tan leather. There's also that stitching within the black leather just behind that. More leather all the way up to the top. This has an adjustable sunshade, so you can use that as needed. Bose for the audio system, plenty of storage down below, and then the automatic windows, along with the carbon fiber-like material, and then some gloss black accents. Now, as we work our way to the seats, we have that same two-tone design. These are even heated seats too, which is awesome to see. Now, in order to work our way to the third row, I can use that lever by the headrest or pull on that strap down below. When you pull and hold on this, that will actually fold this seat flat. So if you need to do that, and then from there, I can push that seat forwards and then work my way into the third row. Now, at 5'10", this is probably not where I want to sit. Now, the second row does move forwards. So as you can tell, that's all the way back where you don't have any leg room, but they do move forwards to where I could lock it into place and have it up there. So at my height, not really where I want to be. I guess I could kind of sit up here, but my head is up against the headliner. This is for small kids. In a pinch, I could ride back here if I had to, but whoever is the shortest is going to be riding in the third row. But there's plenty of space for 2 people to be back here, just depending on your height. You can also flip this up, which I assume is the headrest. So that's a cool integration, but this is for small kids. It's a smaller third row, but it will work. And then from there, I can just move that tab there and slide on out. And then I can just do it in the opposite direction there. And then there is the slider bar down below. So I do need to hop in to push that all the way back. And now we have our second row seating. Now you'll notice down below, there's the climate adjustments along with the temperature, heated seat controls. We have storage pockets on both sides. Plenty of room down below. You'll notice too that the floor mats have the blue accents surrounding them, which seems to be pretty popular for EVs, having that blue outline to accent their vehicles. But in the second row, I have 3 or 4 inches of headroom with the seat all the way reclined. Just grab on that strap and you can bring it back up if you need to, but pretty comfortable for your second row. You can also fold down this middle seat. So just pull on that tab. You do need 2 hands to do that, but when you slide it or flip it down, you have the armrest and 2 cup holders that are integrated into that seat. This is your visibility from the second row. From the third row too, you have those large windows. So you still get a lot of light for your third row passengers, but second row is pretty comfortable, as it should be. And then for the driver panel, this does have memory seating controls. There's all the window adjustments, side mirrors are power folding, and then same design as you saw for the rear. And then for these beautiful front seats, all the automatic adjustments are down on the side, including the massaging function. So that control is located on the outside of the seat. And this is pretty low, so it's easy to enter and exit. And you'll notice with the steering wheel, we have the solid and perforated leather with some brushed aluminum accents. Let's start this back up. You're not going to hear anything, of course. It starts up in the EV mode. So it will show ready. So you are ready to go from here. Now, working our way to the controls on the steering wheel, there's Bluetooth and voice commands on the right side, along with distance pacing. You have some other cruise control settings. And then by pushing on this button, that pulls up some of the safety features, like the blind spot, your forward collision, and the lane keeping assist. There's also paddle shifters. On this left side, there's volume and tuning, and then all of these are for the gauge cluster. So on the left side, there's the EV along with charge, and then currently this has 64 miles on the EV system. So I would assume closer to 70, maybe closer to 75 if it was fully charged. On the right side, there's miles per hour. And then if I use these controls, we can actually go through a lot more information. So there's the menu where you can go through a lot of these settings, just depending on what you need to see, basically some general information. You can scroll over to home where there's a blank page along with distance pacing and the compass. You have some other vitals that you can look through as far as your fuel economy goes. And then we have the tire pressure along with where the power is being sent through that super all-wheel control. There's your energy flow, and then even the battery temperature. And then you have your navigation, your music, and then some of the standard safety features that you can scroll through. So pretty nice to have all of that front and center. If you push on these 3 buttons here, that will pull up with your shortcut menu. So you can also change the meter. So this is the entire setting now for the left and the right side to give you a larger screen right in the middle. So that is great to see. Then you also have your personal display, driver assistance, and then you can go back and change that. So it has some configurability to it. Now over on this left side, there's a dimmer switch along with a fuel cap release, that power outlet in the cargo space. That's how you can activate that. There's a trunk release, also the release to plug this in and charge it. There's a timer for that as well. And then if you push on this button, that is for the head-up display. So you can turn that on and off. Currently, it's just showing miles per hour and then the speed limit, of course, if I was out on the road. Now, there's some more of that tan material underneath, along with one air vent and stitching above that. And then as we work our way to the infotainment system, power and volume is on the left side, tuning is on the right side. Menu is right in the middle, and that gets you to this screen right here, where in the lower section, you can look at info along with audio. You can even pull up the navigation, so you can pull that map up in full screen. And you have some shortcuts in the upper section that you can look at as well. So you can customize these too, just depending on what you'd like to see and where you would like it placed. But it's very nice to see that. You have some other settings. And then you can get into your audio with some shortcuts down below. There's tuning, a brightness adjustment, and then you can even pull up the camera system. So if we look at the 3D view right now, top down is on that right side. The forward-facing camera is on that left side. And if we put it into reverse, now we have the backup camera on that left side. I go back into drive and that will pull it back up. And then for the massaging seats, I'll just push that button on the side of the driver's seat like I showed earlier. And then if I go into adjust, you can go through a few different settings here depending on how you would like your massage for the day. There's intensity and speed. So a few different settings, which is nice. And of course you have that for the passenger side as well. And then underneath that, there's 2 air vents, and you'll notice that that trim goes all the way to the 3rd air vent over on that passenger side with more leather underneath that. All the climate adjustments are laid out very well with fan speed right in the middle, temperatures, heated seat adjustments, heated steering wheel too. And then you have your defrosters and your rear climates that you can actually adjust as well. Underneath that, there's a ton of auxiliaries along with wireless charging, which is located in the Outlander portion of that. And then over on this right side, there's the EV button. Now, if you push on this, you can go through a few different modes. There's normal, EV, save, and charge. So normal is going to combine the EV system along with the gas system. EV is strictly just the EV system by itself. And then you can save the EV, so now you are just running on the gas. And then the last one will actually charge the EV system while you are driving. Now, the button on the left side of that doesn't say anything or show anything, but now that I look at it, it does look like a gas pedal. This button here will pull up to the left side of ready there, and this is for the regenerative braking, which will basically be your one pedal driving. So when you activate that, you don't have to use the brake pedal as often. It's going to charge the vehicle more aggressively than with it off, so that is what you can use that for. The release is on this left side here. Slide that forwards. That is for reverse. You can slide it backwards, and then if you pull on it without the release, that goes into the B mode. What B allows you to use is to use these paddle shifters here, and they are not used for changing gears. They are used for further adjusting that one pedal driving basically. So when you do have that off, you can actually adjust how you would like it to feel. So if you want a little bit more brake pedal or a little bit less brake pedal, you can kind of tune it in with both of those. So the B, I would assume, stands for extra braking or for the braking for the regenerative. Now park is on the top there. And then over on the right side, there's the e-brake along with the auto hold. And there are several different driving modes for this vehicle. So if I twist this dial all the way to the left, that is for power, which will give you the maximum power. There's eco along with normal. There's also tarmac. There's also gravel and then snow and mud. So just depending on what you're doing and the power that you need through the all-wheel drive system. The one in the middle is for the downhill assist control. And then behind that, there are 2 cup holders. You get a little bit of storage in the center armrest, and then plenty of room in the glove box. Up top, there's the sunglass holder along with the dome lights, and then the controls for the sunroof and the sunshade. Now that does not go into the 3rd row, so it stops just in front of the 2nd row headrest. But this is the visibility from the driver's seat. You have a pretty good look over that right shoulder as well as the left. Can't really see out of that window in the back there, but you still get plenty of visibility out of that window. As we set off now behind the wheel for this Mitsubishi Outlander, it's been a couple days, so I've got a few more miles under my belt with this vehicle. And honestly, I am super impressed with this. I've never really been around the Mitsubishi brand, so technically this would be the first Mitsubishi review for our channel. And I've seen them in previous years. I've been around the Evos before. That's kind of the only Mitsubishi I really have experience with. But in general, Mitsubishi wasn't really something on my radar. Now that I'm sitting in this Outlander, I've had it for a few days. It's at the $50,000 price point for almost a fully loaded model. This is very impressive. I've enjoyed the ride. It's been very quiet, very smooth. It's something that you would expect from a more luxury brand that you get in this Mitsubishi. And after doing some more research on this Outlander in general, there are 8 different trim levels for the non-hybrid version and then 3 for the hybrid version. So you have a lot of different trim levels starting right around $28,000 all the way up to the mid $50,000 range, just depending on what works for your budget and what you're looking to get. All the options that you would like, you know, massaging seats, wireless charging, things like that are options that you can get if that's something you want to use. Well, what I have found is that every time you start this up, it goes into the EV mode. So you just have to push on this button here to go to a different mode if you'd like to. And then obviously we have the different driving modes here as well. So let's give it a little bit of gas. We're just in the normal drive mode. And that's pedal to the floor. You know, we're getting up and moving. It's not a performance-oriented vehicle, but it does have a good bit of torque to it, especially for its weight, to get up and move. The one thing that I'm also super impressed with too, I own a hybrid X5. On the EV system for the model year I have, it's about 30 miles that you can go. The newer version, so 2024 to 2024 that we're in, is closer to 40, maybe 42 miles. This gets almost 70 miles on just the EV system, and you can plug this in overnight to a normal wall outlet and have it fully charged in the morning, ready to go. So I think that is super impressive. With the EV technology that they're incorporating into hybrids, it's impressive to see that you can go 70 miles without using the gas engine. And we'll switch to the power setting again from 30 miles an hour. Here we go. So just like that, we went up 20 miles an hour. So I'd say it's pretty impressive. It's not crazy quick. Having that extra hybrid assistance though, it definitely gives it the power that you need. But this is the view for the Mitsubishi Outlander. I think it's a very nice interior. There's a little bit of plastic surrounding the dash there, but all of the rest of the materials, the carbon fiber like trim accents, all of the leather, these seats, it gives it a really nice refined feel for the cost. You will also notice too, if you haven't already, that we have a lot of Nissan technology. So I'm not sure the partnership that Mitsubishi has with them. I don't know if this has been something for a long time or not, but we have the Nissan infotainment gauge cluster setup. All of the controls are Nissan as well. But it's also impressive too that we have several different driving modes. You wouldn't really expect this Mitsubishi to really go off the tarmac, maybe on some gravel roads or something if you're going hiking or situations like that. But it's nice that you have that with the all-wheel drive system. It's going to be a pretty capable vehicle. Ground clearance is pretty respectable as well. And I guess the only other gripe I would have with it is it's a compact SUV. So it's got the third row, but it's compact. So if you really don't need it, but you'd like to have that option, I could see it being good to have. I can't really think of any other competitors that would be considered a compact 3-row SUV. So it's almost an SUV in its own market. But as you can hopefully tell, it is super quiet. It feels very well refined for the cost. But that's going to wrap it up for the 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid SEL. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.